Hey everybody, how's it going? I got some good news. I got a few test logs. I was able to have some time to drag them logs out. Plus the weather was a little better today. And not fancy, 8 to 10 inch logs. It's what I could find. I got a couple updates here. Let's see. Get this cylinder. Tight nickel cylinder for 660. It's all part of my experiment, short blowdown, long blowdown. And reason why I got this, I talked to the guy, he says, yep, 100 degrees on the exhaust. I says, that's pretty good on a 660, 100 degrees. So I figure I'll pick that baby up. I think it's got 127 on the transfers. So, and right here, you see how you get these built up rings when you get these nikasil cylinders? I'm going to show you a way to get that off. This is diamond file. I'm going to show you in a little bit. Timber Pro saw here. This is my cousin's little, I think it's 62cc. It's almost like the Weimar saw that I think, what is this, Novice Lumberjack did. So it seems pretty close. And 660 here. Now I did 3 cuts with this thing, getting those logs. Tell you what, this was 17 degrees blowdown. I was pretty impressed with it. Man, I thought it 4-stroked the whole way through. I tried to push it to get it to, I mean, it's my first time running that, and it was like brum, brum, it was like brum, brum. It was like I was like, holy smokes. And I think that I know there's a big debate, long blowdown, short blowdown, but I think we need to do as a saw community, learn from one another, because I'm going to give a shout out to a few guys, Aaron Lynch, Cajun. See, this is when I started learning about things. When I was watching their videos, I'm like, how do they get their saws to run? I'm like, maybe I can learn from them. Maybe I can take knowledge that they have and apply it to my build so it can take my builds to the next level. Because when I did that, I sat there, watched. When Cajun, he had the videos with all the saws there that he had. He had long blowdown saw here, short blowdown. He was like, okay, this saw here, long blowdown. He's like, no balls, no balls. You might make a good lemon saw. Same thing with the short blowdown. He said, look at the short blowdown. It was like really running. I'm like, I said, that's interesting. You know, when I started learning all this stuff, looking at what's going on, then I started learning about the theory. I started understanding the theory, like transfer velocity, how that affects your saw, intake volume, intake velocity, exhaust port size, exhaust port shape, all this stuff, squish, you know, combustion chamber size, you know, all these things affect the saw. And I started saying, I think that's the attitude we need to have as a saw community, learn from one another so we can take our saw builds to the next level and have fun doing it, right? Just like, you know, Iron Horse. I hope everything works out for him because, you know, I enjoy his videos as well, you know. I learned stuff from all them guys on there, really. When I get home, I'm like, man, I can't wait to see what videos they got, you know. It's kind of, I don't even watch TV no more. That's what I watch. So ain't nothing good on TV anyway, you know. Just having some fun, you know, lately playing, was it Grand Theft Auto 4? I'm trying to do 100% complete. I'm almost, I think I'm, what, 90%? Yeah, having fun doing it. Grand Theft Auto 4. I think that's a little better than 5, actually. The action, man, whew, it's a lot better. But, yeah. On this saw here, back to this thing runs pretty good, I thought. A little bit very different than before. So, I guess I'm learning. I've done this for about a year. I'm learning from doing. That's the way I learn about everything, you know. I don't have anybody helping me. I'm just going at it myself. That's why I learned. That's why I was a mechanic. That's why I did it as a machinist. Learned on the job. It's kind of what happened. Like my supervisor, he was kind of jealous, I guess, because there's some times he tried to set me up for failure, having me do parts that my skill level shouldn't have been able to do, and he was getting all pissed off because I made these fixtures. Okay, let me see if I just generalize. This is the only thing I had. Okay, there was a slot that we had to mill in a piece of material, right? It was like a 1/4 inch diameter, but it had to be below the center line, okay? You think clamp it in a vise this way would be good. No, if you do that, as soon as you cut that, it'll bend, okay? So I made a fixture. I made something. When I got those parts done, he's like, "Oh, I can't believe you did that." He's like stamping away, and all the guys are like, "Dude, you're awesome, man." He says, "Save that fixture, man. Ain't nobody figured that out." Yeah, he was all ticked off as he wanted me to get fired because that was special material that had to be certified. Yep. I think some of the other guys scrapped the material. There's only like 2 pieces left. He's like, "You son of a bitch." He's sitting there running, you know, stamping his feet. Oh, I got a lot of stories about that. That's why I quit that place, because it was better to walk away than hit him. Yeah, that's whole nother story there. But yeah, I just learn as I go. But anyway, this cylinder here, before I get into this, let me show you something with this little Timber Pro. This is a short blowdown. Okay? You see that? The piston's all the way at the bottom of that exhaust port. It's completely open at bottom dead center. Okay, now this is, didn't time this saw. This got to be 13 degrees of blowdown out of the box. And I think why they do that is because you don't have enough crankcase compression to develop transfer velocity to shove your exhaust, or sorry about that, your exhaust out of your saw. So they keep it open as much as they can so it can come out of there. Okay, does that make sense? Because on that 372 big bore cylinder that I put that pop-up piston, now that was a little shorter blow, and I was like 23 degrees, 22, okay? And what I noticed, you know, those 372s have small exhaust ports, okay? Now I put a big pop-up in there. It's like it was choking out. If you give it full throttle, the saw would stall. It was that choked out with the stock muffler. So that's when I started making them pipes. And once I cut the pop-up off, it ran better, because it was able to get that exhaust out of the saw, wouldn't back up into the transfers and stop your carburetor from working. It's just things that I'm learning. I mean, I didn't cut the pop-up. I cut like 15, 20 thousandths off the pop, and it ran better. I think it was like a 45 thou pop-up instead of a 70, and it ran better, much better. There's just things that I'm learning about these short blowdowns. See, there's different ways you get to set your cylinder up for long blowdown, different ways you get to set your cylinder up for short blowdown. Just interesting stuff that I'm learning. Okay. Now this here, back to that plating ring, how to take that off without damaging your cylinder, because you can scrap your cylinder. You'll bust that plating off, could go up into your intake port, and this will be junk. Okay, you take this diamond file. This is like Harbor Freight, and they used to carry these. You want to take your time, a little bit of elbow grease back here. Okay, take your time. Now you don't want to file into the base of the cylinder here. You want to kind of go at an angle. Yeah, I was on a deburr bench for about a year because that supervisor tried to get me to quit, because most of the guys, the apprentices that were on a deburr bench, they quit. Me, I loved it. It was easy. Learn something. Maybe I can do a video showing you guys how to sharpen tool bits. I've sharpened carbide bits with this and everything. Yep. Just take your time, go around there. Let's see. Yep. Filing into that. And take elbow grease, but yeah. Oh yeah. Let's go over here is where it's a little less. I don't want to do this too long, probably get bored watching it, but yep. Yeah, that was really something when I was a machinist. First 2 years was fun as, well, as fun as can be. When they switched supervisors, that's when it was hell. Yep. I heard one time, he was trying to impress me. He had a big, I think it was like a 20-inch piece of aluminum. It was about an inch and a half thick. Had real sharp corners on it. He wanted me to hold that with tailstock pressure on the lathe. Take a 1/4 inch depth of cut, and I said, dude, that's not a good idea. I said, it's going to catch that and throw that out of the machine. Yeah, you do what I tell you to do. You understand? I said, okay. So I did exactly. I turned that thing to 1/4 inch, 250 thousandths. I hit the feed lever, I jumped way back. Friggin' part come out of the lathe just like I said, and everybody was laughing. They says, ah, can you? Yep. You didn't listen. Yep. Oh man, I got all kind of stories. Like, he's sitting there arguing with me about how to cut a metric thread on a lathe. I know how to do that. He's sitting there, no, you gotta change the gears. I said, no, you don't change the gears in the lathe. You change the gears, I said, you gotta change out the lead screw. And he wanted me to walk around the place, look for the gears. I said, hell would I get paid for it? I got tired of it. And I told him how to do it. And the one guy's like, yeah, hey, Ken knows what he's talking about. Yeah, it is how you do it. You check it on the optical comparator. You see crest to crest how many thousandths of an inch. Okay? Then you have to figure out your feed on your lathe. You figure out how many, one revolution of your chuck, and how many thousandths that moves to travel your cutter, we'll say, okay? Well, once you get that dialed in, you leave the feed lever engaged, and then you cut your thread. Yep. Then you just back off the, the travel you leave, you just back off. It's been a while since I did it, but yeah. Yep, well. Yep. You can see I got here good. Down here's pretty flush. Starting to get it here. You get the general idea. I don't want to be too long a video, but yeah, just some things I wanted to show you. Like I said, that's the attitude we gotta have. Let's just learn and just have fun doing it, man. So we take our builds to the next level. Because I remember there was a poster in my machine shop. It was way up on the wall. I think it says, when you have a difficult problem, when a group works together, you can solve great problems. That's what it said. I remember that, and that's true. So, yeah. All right, guys. Next time, keep on feeling the heat.